What's up, everybody? We are the Channel 135 podcast brought to you by the mighty WesWes Network, brought to you by WesWesNet.com, the Channel 135. I'm your host, Cams. This is the show we talk about our favorite things in life, movies, TV shows, and pop culture. I'm here with also all the way from Ranui, Eric. What's up, my man?
Hey, it's good to be back on.
Yeah, man, I haven't been back on in a while. It's probably the last one we did was the end of, what was it?
Endor, yeah.
That seems like a long time ago, but it wasn't really. But there hasn't been much on lately. We would do some podcasts about episodes, but yeah, man, that brings me to what we're going to talk about right now. Before we get into what we're here for, a review of the new movie, John Wick spinoff, Ballerina. What have you been watching lately, though?
I've been watching the Korean stuff.
Korean stuff?
Yeah, like the Korean shows on Netflix. There's one on Disney I picked up, but I just rewatched it again.
Are they animation or real life?
I watched that animated show last night with my Capri of a Korean one, but I think it was Sony Pictures that did the animation. It was pretty good too. Pretty good solid story. K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, it's about a girl group band.
Yeah.
And they use their voice to. It's a bit like kind of like singers where the demons and that come out and stuff. But these girls use their voice to protect the people from demons. It's out of it was a pretty solid story. I was quite surprised. But
so you know how you said Korean program? Is it like a series of different Korean? Mainly in Korea, are they a series of shows?
Yeah, they're pulling out shows galore. But
so is it like anime? No.
Yeah, this one is like a crime drama. The one I recently watched. It was in the top 10. Mercy for None. It's pretty out of it.
Yeah.
It's it's a story about a set of brothers. They're in the criminal underground, doing deals with they help their boss organize the crime, their gangs and stuff. So they're like the top henchmen guys. But then one of the brothers dies, and because the other one retires, so he decides to come back and find out what happens to his brother, and it's all about revenge. But the main character himself he doesn't do any acting at all, bro.
What do you mean?
The fight scenes are fucking brutal.
Right.
The fight scenes in the show is really, really gritty. It's just like out the gate crazy. But the character itself, he doesn't hardly say anything. There's no emotion. He just stands there.
Also, it's like a martial arts film.
Kind of. I wouldn't say it's a martial arts film. It kind of reminds me a bit like The Raid.
Right, that same fighting style. Yeah,
but it's not as. It doesn't look that choreographed, and it's kind of either. Some of it's a bit either, but I was just like, shit, it's pretty out there. The action scenes are crazy. Oh. So yeah, I've been watching a bit of that. So that one I've been watching, Mercy for None. It's on Netflix.
Mercy for None.
Yeah, it just came out recently.
And it's a real life.
Yeah, it's a real life. It's a real life Korean drama.
Yeah.
So it's like crime, but two brothers. One gets murdered, the other one comes back for revenge. And finds out there's all this other stuff that's been going, and his brother's been trying to. Yeah.
And is it a movie or a series?
Yeah, it's a TV series.
All right.
I think it's been about 8 or 9 episodes long.
For season 1.
I think it might be the only season.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna pop it with another season, but yeah, the action is just crazy. Yeah, it's out of it. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Are they hour episodes or half an hour?
Yeah, around about an hour. I think 40 minutes. I think.
Right.
This other Korean one I've been watching too. It's called Moving. It was released in 2023, and this is like a superhero.
Oh.
It's like a superhero family drama type show. Yeah. It's a TV series as well. But it's really solid. Like, I think that's the one I showed you with the guy there was a scene where the main character, the main hero, he jumps out of the window, gets hit by a van, and somehow the van picks him up because the guy has healing. He has healing powers. So as soon as he gets cut, he heals. He's got the healing factor like Wolverine,
Right.
but he's got the strength of Incredible Hulk. So these are one of the characters on the show. So he gets hit by a van, drags along across the road because he's in front of the van. Another van comes from the other side and hits him. So they pin him in between the two vans and they drive them down the road. It's a high octane scene. That scene is crazy, but it kind of drags a little bit in the middle, and then it starts picking up again.
So what's that one called?
Moving.
And you would say that's action?
Yeah,
drama?
it's like a action. It's like comedy, action, drama. It's all mixed into one, kind of.
And that's a TV series as well.
Yeah, it's another TV series. Same sort of thing, 40 minutes long as well.
And 10 episodes?
Yes, I think that one was around about 20 episodes long.
20? Oh, wow.
That's season 1 too.
Oh,
man, the characters, it's really character driven, eh? Like some of the characters in there, you really like, oh, damn.
Mm.
And it's the relationship between the kids and the parents as well. So some of the kids inherit these powers, and they're trying to figure out, why am I fucked up? And then the parents slowly telling them, oh, this is because of us. But then the government's trying to get these kids because they want to recruit them for the army.
Mm.
So it's all that shit, and the parents are trying to protect their kids. It's fucking, I don't.
Oh, so is it subtitled and all that?
Yeah, it's subtitled.
But you can choose the English audio?
Yeah, I usually don't. I love, because I remember when I used to watch my Chinatown movies, and I used to do that.
Mm.
I rather prefer hearing the Cantonese language over the English subtitles. I mean, over the English thing. It just doesn't sound right. It sounds weird.
So you know how we got Squid Games? Is it similar production like Squid Games?
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's some out of it action, and there's Korean shows. It's crazy.
Mm.
They go right over the board.
Yeah, not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I know.
I never even watched Squid Games. But you know how Squid Games was like fucking everybody liked it? All the influencers were doing their own Squid Games on their social medias. Like,
bro,
I did not get any of that program, man. It just wasn't me. Yeah.
They did a real life Squid Games, but without the killing.
Oh yeah, no, they can't have killing. Like, they'll get arrested, bro.
I was like, what the hell? That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
yeah, I've been watching a lot of that Korean stuff. It's out of it. Some of the characters are like some of the superheroes. The hero characters in these shows are. I think they're a lot different from what I'm used to seeing.
Mm.
I think that's why I like these shows.
Yeah.
Some of these hero characters in these stories are different. Way different.
Yeah, nah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you also watched Killer of Killers, and that's the one I watched as well. And we were going to talk about it on this as a little thing before we get into Ballerina, but we decided not to just do a whole episode on it. So I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Next time we'll jump on here, we'll do a whole episode of Killer of Killers. That's a really good animation there, good cartoon.
Yeah, it's really informative too,
Tells us how it connects to Prey.
Not only that, but it tells us a lot about the Predator, about them and their, what do you call it, their religion and stuff. Like, so it's like, man, okay. And that might be leading up to Badlands as well.
Badlands, yeah, they'll come out, I think November, September sometime.
Yeah, so there must be a connection there as well too.
Oh yeah, no, it is, because I think they franchised it. So it was a franchise anyway, but they sort of got one guy. I think they realized that Aliens vs Predators sucked, and the Predators, the Shane Black one, sucked. But Robert Rodriguez, how he did the Predators in 2010, that was pretty cool. I actually watched it in the weekend.
Yeah,
because we did our Predator episode on the Late Returns film review. We did that episode, and man, Predator, the first original Predator, That still stands to this day, man. Hey,
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
yeah,
Yeah,
still stands up, and it's still really good. Hey, it's better than all the Predator aliens. It's better than the Predator.
yeah,
I thought Predators with Adrian Brody, that was a good homage to the original Predator because they had a lot of things that the original Predator had.
yeah. Well, you know how all those guys, well, there's mercenaries in that.
Mm.
It kind of remind me of the little group that Arnold had.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it was kind of the same thing. But
So
yeah,
the Yakuza guy, he was like he's like Billy, eh?
yeah.
He stopped for his honor.
Trying to take on the Predator.
Yeah, his honor thing. Yeah, so it was good. It wasn't as good as the original Predator, but it was a good homage to the original Predator. You can tell that Robert Rodriguez really loved Predator as a movie. Big fan of that movie, and so as a fan, you put all that stuff into his new movie, yeah, man. So yeah, that was a good watch.
Fuck you.
Sweet man. So yeah, what I started watching I watched the new Owen Wilson TV series called Stick.
Oh,
That's good, man. That's good. It's on Apple Plus.
yep.
And I watched the first episode, and yeah, man, it's just funny as it's about Owen Wilson. He plays retired golf pro, and the reason why he was retired because he did something embarrassing on TV at one of the golf tournaments, and I think he had a breakdown on live TV, and he quit after that. So yeah, he was a golf star, but now he's not. He works at the golf shop. He's a salesman at the golf shop. But he comes across this kid with out of its skills, like he recognized his skills to be, man, this kid is gonna be like a Tiger Woods. But the kid was like a street kid. He's like a street kid. So in order to get his life back on track, he decides he'll train this guy up, this kid, do all the tournaments and try and make money. So he goes 60-30 on the money thing with the kid. He gets 30% and the kid gets 70% and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the basis of the TV series, and they just go on these golf tours. I just watched the first one, so they're just at the end of the first episode, they just hitting off on all these golf tours. But it's a funny, it's a comedy drama, but it's crack up, eh? Yeah.
Oh man,
that's Stick on Apple Plus. Yeah,
I think the last movie I watched was Ballerina, and I went and took Capri to go watch How to Train a Dragon.
Oh, yeah, was it good?
The real life version. It was pretty close to the animated version. We were both big fans of it. Oh, she's looking at me weird now. Like, no, it wasn't.
Because that's the live action one, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty out of the head. It was good.
Did you ever see the cartoon?
Yep. I used to watch it with Capri a lot.
Oh yeah.
When she was younger, it was like you know the shows that on repeat all day every day. There was one of them. That and Shrek and all the other rest. So no, it was good seeing it like in the real life job, just like the Lion King and that. I was like, wow. So yeah, they did a good job on that. Yeah,
the movie I saw before Ballerina was The Amateur.
So
you can watch it too. It's on Plex. But nah, there was like it's an action movie, but it's sort of like underwhelming. I think you're interested in this guy, how he's gonna go, because he really is an amateur.
Yeah,
he sort of tricks the CIA to train him. Because what happens is that you see in the trailer, his wife gets killed, or his girlfriend gets killed, and he works at the CIA. He's not a man on the field; he's just the office guy.
Yep.
And he's expecting his bosses to find the people that killed his wife, but it's more complicated than that, and they don't really do it because they want to. Instead of going after those particular guys, they want to go after the whole gang, like the whole organization. So they don't really focus on the killers of his wife. So he gets upset about that, and he decides to find them and kill them himself. So he sort of blackmails his bosses to train them up, because obviously they don't want to do it. That's not the long game. But he sort of like finds some secrets, and he comes back and I want to give this to the media if you don't train me up to be a to be a to be a hitman. Yeah, and then he goes off. So,
What the hell?
But now out of 10, I give it probably 4 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
okay, then watch it then.
Mm.
Man, even my some of my Korean shows I watch are better than that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I might try it out. I'll give it a go. Moving, and what's the other one?
Mercy for none. I think
Mostly
Mercy
for
for
None.
none might be
Mostly
your
for
thing.
None.
I don't
Okay.
think moving is your cup of tea.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Sweetos. Let's talk about Ballerina, the new spin-off to John Wick. So this movie, the timeline for this movie happens during which John Wick's still alive, eh?
Yeah, it's the part where he comes back for some kind of favor from the family, and they burn his tattoo off or something, or some
Right.
shit.
So it's between John Wick 3 and 4.
Damn, it's been
It stars Ana De Armas, who, man, what would you, okay. Since you've seen it, what are your first thoughts of this film?
Tell you the truth, I thought it was alright. Like, straight out the gate, out of 5. I think I gave it, after the movie, I think I gave it like a 3.
A 3? So
Yeah.
over half.
A 3 or 2.8 or something like that.
Just over half.
Yeah. It was alright. I didn't mind it.
Mhm.
So, just some of the plot was like, huh? But yeah, the action was unique to her, to the character.
Mhm.
Because I was hoping they wouldn't do her like invincible like John Wick. Not saying because she's a girl, but saying, you know how sometimes to make the female character, they can take on a 300-pound man and flip him easy. But in this case, in this scenario, they actually use her strengths, her own unique strengths, for her to, go across the battlefield. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool in that way. But yeah, I don't know why, because I can barely remember it, because I think it's been a couple of weeks now. So I kind of forgot some of the story, but I didn't give it a high score. I like the action there. It was awesome, no doubt. The action was there. John Wick style forever.
Yeah, I saw Ballerina in the weekend, and I came out of it feeling, okay, this is a typical John Wick sort of movie, eh? Right? And I guess you had to expect that from a movie like this, seeing that we saw John Wick 4 and he dies at the end. They have to make the franchise go on somehow. Because if John Wick is dead, but it's the franchise is real popular and does well in the box office, you have to carry it on somehow.
Yeah.
So this might be the chance to bring someone like Anna in to replace John Wick. So and that's where I see this film. And because of that, because it comes from the John Wick universe, we've had the Continental TV series on Prime. I never watched that, but you did, eh?
Yeah.
The Continental series. Is that similar? That's got a similar vibe, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit different again too, because I forgot the guy that's in charge of the Continental at the moment. Winston, yeah, like, because Winston's not like hands-on type of guy.
Mm.
So, and it was mainly focused on that dude, and yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was good.
But what was the vibe the same? Is the when you think of John Wick movies, 1, 2, 3, and 4,
and stuff, yeah,
like that action packed.
Yeah, they had the action.
Not a hell of a lot of story, not a hell of a lot of plot. It's just a little thing that happens that makes the action go, right? So you just expect to be action packed and just fighting after fighting, scenes after scene, set piece after set piece. non-stop action. So,
Yeah,
and did you get that with Continental? The same sort of vibe?
I think with Continental, I think there was a bit more character story in it,
Right.
then and some action in there. But I found there was a bit more drama in there.
Yeah, so in saying that, because I never saw Continental, but in saying that, when I first heard of this movie Ballerina, I didn't expect too much to be different than what we saw in the John Wick movies.
Yeah, of course.
And I was right because, yeah, it was the same. It felt the same. John Wick is actually in this film too, and I thought that that's just a way of trying to get people to watch the film, like connect Ballerina to John Wick movies. So as a spin-off, yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on that, because I don't know if John Wick's involvement in the movie.
There was another weird part for me when he came into that movie.
I thought they could have done that better.
No, I thought it would have been just like he was like, oh, he sees him, during that period he came back to the place, and that was it. But no, they went and grabbed him to go take care of her. I was like, hey.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought that, they used them. I thought they would have used them a different kind of way, not to take the shine out of the main character.
Yeah, because that's what he did.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did, and I thought that was a poor choice.
Did you notice? He looked faster. He looked like 10 times faster than in his other movies. I was like, holy shit! This he was like on a killing spree, like galore.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn.
So what I was trying to say, because and how I felt about it, yeah, I expected to be like a John Wick movie. I got that without having John Wick in it too much. I thought that Anna did a good job of being the star, and I'm used to her being in these like sexual sort of movies, so never seen her to be like an action hero kind of thing, but she really pulls it off, as a performance. I thought her performance as an action star, she pulls it off, so that was pretty cool.
Wasn't she on Grey? Was that her on Grey with what's that Playboy's name? Oh shit, I forgot his name.
What's Grey?
Grey, that spy thriller that came on Netflix. I think it's Mr. Grey.
Mr. Grey.
It's like a 007 type, but I think he's called 009 or something like that.
Oh, the Grey Man.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's in the Grey Man. Yeah, that's the Netflix one. The what's his name? Chris Evans, Is that the Chris Evans?
That's what. That Chris Evans is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a pretty funny bad guy in there. Fuck, he was an asshole actually.
Oh, I can't remember. I couldn't remember her in there.
She did all right in there.
And Ryan Gosling, he's the good guy.
Yeah, that's the
one. So I thought her performances were cool. What I didn't like was the story. I didn't like the story as much. I thought that they could have done the story a better way, because that's a typical revenge kind of thing, Like the girl, the father dies in front of the girl, and so the girl grows up to seek revenge.
I didn't really care much for that part of the movie. I was just like, oh yeah, whatever.
Well, it's a simple story, right? It's a simple story.
Actually,
and
please.
I thought that, it's a simple story. I don't mind it being a simple story. Like, you could have a simple story, that's cool. But I thought the way they did that story, probably they did too much on it, especially the beginning. Like, I thought that the flashback scene was too long, too much going on, and I didn't like the whole build up to where, like, from the start to when she's a full grown hitman. Like, I thought that was too long. I thought that it was kind of boring. I thought.
Yeah,
and we needed to get to the part when she's all action and she's going on her missions, But in saying that, I think that ruined the film for me. And I thought that when they introduced John Wick, I thought that could have been done in a better way. And I say that because if you want to put John Wick in the spin-off movie for the fact to get the audiences in, to connect it back to his films, I thought you could do it a better way. Like, have him come as a surprise or something like that,
Yeah.
and not. We'll talk about it after we do the spoiler recap, but yeah, I thought that was a little bit disappointing. So there was disappointing parts for me in this film. Was the beginning, how they build up to where she was a full blown hitman. Because when that moment happens, when it starts, it's cool from then on. The movie's cool from then on. And I thought it ruined it again when they introduced John Wick the way they did. They could have done that better. But also saying that, there's some action scenes that I've never seen before. And they were mean, man. And that sort of saved it a little bit. You know,
Yes.
so for me, this movie is right in the middle for me, like 50-50. The bad stuff that I didn't like were there.
Yeah.
But I think some of the good stuff sort of brought me back a little bit to halfway. So yeah, I was disappointed at those bad bits, but really like the good bits, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with Ballerina. So yeah, man, we'll do the spoiler alert right now. We'll do the recap. So if those of you who haven't seen the movie Ballerina, stop this podcast now, go watch it, come back and listen to us. We're gonna break it down. So young Eve witnesses her assassin father Javier being killed by a cult agent known as the Chancellor. Orphaned, she's rescued by Winston and taken to the Ruska Roma Ballet cum Assassin Academy under the tutelage of the director. Over 12 years, Eve hones both ballet and lethal combat with help from Nongi. While struggling with ballet technique yet thriving in violence, a mentor urges her to fight like a girl, which becomes her combat philosophy. During her training, a brief encounter with John Wick echoes sentiments from Chapter 3, where he advises her against a life of violence, but Eve is determined to follow her own path. Identifying the Chancellor as her father's killer, Eve defies orders and heads for Hallstatt, Austria, a picturesque village where every resident is a hitman. She embarks on a stylish, brutal quest for revenge. Eve confronts the Chancellor in the snow-clad village armed with unconventional weapons like grenades, ice skates, and even a flamethrower. Her final act of vengeance brings catharsis and closure. A late film twist reveals Lena, an assassin she's fought, is her long-lost sister, an emotional punch before a violent end. That was your Ballerina recap right there. So favorite scenes, man? Favorite scenes. So we gotta talk about these action scenes, man. So
Man.
the first one that I thought was pretty cool. That took me by surprise, and I thought that a lot of these things that happen in this film takes you by surprise. So the first one was that moment when she's full blown hitman. It's been years after her training. She's full hitman mode. We see her come out of this building A. She's walking down. Oh, she's in the bathroom A. There's dead people around there. She takes a photo of the guy that's dead, leaning up against the wall, and that's probably the mark. Hey.
Yeah.
Then we see all the henchmen around. They're all dead, lying on the ground, and she walks out of the bathroom into another room. There's more dead people there. She goes down the elevator. She comes down the lobby, more dead people there. So sort of thing. Eh?
Yeah.
But then it was cool because when she gets to the car outside, the camera pans out and she's driving away. And you think that's because you're just relaxed. Yeah. You're just relaxed because, oh, yeah, it's finished. But then in the distance, a car crashes into her and pushes her back down the alleyway. The camera zooms back in there.
Yeah.
And then she ends up fighting the dude in the car. Wow, man. I thought that was mean. That was a mean scene, man.
Yeah, that was. I remember that.
Because that took me by surprise. I was like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah, that did take me by surprise as well. I think I went, whoa. And I was quite loud. It's like, oh, shit. That's pretty over it.
And she kills that guy with the X.
Yeah.
X in the face. So, yeah, man, the fight scenes are pretty brutal way. Like, and it's cool because when she's doing her training, on the recap that I was reading, how they told her that, she's a girl, you're always going to be weaker. They're going to outmuscle you, so you got to find out. You got to use techniques to try and overcome them, especially the guys. And it's cool because when you see her fighting, she gets wasted a lot.
Yeah.
She gets her ass kicked a lot.
And it's realistic. It's real. Like, she's going to have to find different ways to get around her enemies, and she does. And that's what shocked me the most too. Like her way of fighting. I was like, oh shit, that would work.
Yeah. So I think I was happy when I saw that scene because I was starting to lose my train of thought because I was thinking, fuck, this is gonna be boring. So that scene actually put me back into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting some fight scenes, but yeah, I think the fight scenes on here were really, really good.
I thought they should have started with that scene and just give us flashbacks after that.
Yeah, I
Like, you
think
know
the
how
flashbacks.
we started in the past when she's a kid. We see
Yeah,
her dad's doing some John Wick's kind of style, but he gets killed. But yeah, I thought that was a bit long. But I thought they
way
should
too
have done
long.
that with a recap. And the
Yeah,
first scene should have been that one that I just described. Her walking out of the building
yeah, that was
and
badass.
getting attacked. Because that guy that attacks her, she notices he's got a cross on his wrist. That's the
Yeah,
cross she
that's
remembers that the guy that killed her dad.
yeah.
Hmm.
It all leads back to that whole place where every single person is a murderous asshole.
Well, that was another surprise. Like, when did you click that the whole town was Hitman?
I think when she arrived and she was in like the little cafe or restaurant,
Mm.
and then everyone kind of stepped out of the way, and I thought, okay, these people know each other. But then when they came back in with guns, I was like, what the hell?
And when the siren went off, then everyone in the
Yeah.
town.
Then I realized, holy shit, the whole town's in it.
But then there's that scene when the kids, the school, and there's like targets at the school, so the kids are
Oh my
practicing their
gosh.
targets.
Out of it.
So that here's a town that's been the whole town's been trained to be a hitman. So that's the tribe, and we know that the Ruscaroma, that's John Wick's tribe.
Yeah. They seem to be pulling out the best hitmen.
Yeah, it's a very
Ruscaroma.
See, I might go watch Continental now because if you're into like John Wick and you want to get involved with all the law and stuff, like it's essential way to watch Continental and see how this world works with the hitman and that.
And it looks like it's been going on for a while, eh?
Mm.
Like, it seems pretty old. Because they use gold coins as currency. So that's, I don't know, that's going way back.
Mm.
But yeah, it's out of it.
Yeah, and these are the surprise things. So that first scene I told you about with the car, that was a surprise. You described a surprise at the end when the whole town's a fucking hitman. Even the parents, and all that. That was fucking out of it. So that was a surprise. The other surprise was when she gets attacked at the gun shop.
Oh yeah,
because you don't expect that to happen.
No.
Like when the first shot came out, like, hey, where did these guys come from?
Yeah.
This came out of the blue, and you think that it's like it's a safe haven for her, but it's not really. So yeah, that took me by surprise, that part.
I thought they were gonna do the whole John Wick's thing, where what do you want for your main course, dessert, the knives and shit. But they didn't even get to that part. Just like straight up came in and just ransacked the whole place.
And that's what it brings me to the other set piece that was pretty cool, the grenades, because here she's locked up in the gun shop at the back of it, and she's opening all the. She's trying to fight back, but every single gun has got no ammo in it, so she can't really use any guns,
Yeah.
So
they're all empty.
They're all empty. So she uses the grenades she's got. So like automatically you're thinking, okay, how are you gonna do this? These are small spaces at the back of the shop here, and you only got those grenades. Well, you're gonna blow yourself up when everyone else is in there. But now she manages to do it, but in a pretty cool way. How they choreography this scene,
Yeah,
man. When she blew up the guy behind the door, the steel door.
Fuck, that was out of it. And then it blew a hole in the wall,
Yeah.
so she could escape. So I was like, oh, fuck, where's the rest of them?
That's right. And the other one, when she put the belt over his neck and flipped him over the table.
Yeah.
And she hit she hit on the other side of the table and he blew up on the other side. So pretty imaginative ways to fight your enemies with grenades and close quarters, So I never seen anything like that, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Man, yeah, all of that was buzzy until the scene where she actually fights John. She just gets manhandled easily within seconds. He was like dead, 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 dead.
Mm.
He could have killed her how many times? I was like, man, John looked 10 times better in this movie than all the rest.
And that's what I don't understand. Like, if John had to go, his mission was to kill her.
Yeah.
Why didn't he? He should have, eh?
Yeah, and why was he even there? Because if I remember correctly in the movies, I don't think there was any time for him to go back there and kill her. If I remember correctly. Because he
Depends
went
what happens
there.
after part 3. Because what happens after John Wick part 3?
I know he comes back for a medallion or something.
Mm.
He asked a favor from Halle Berry, but I think that's in part 2. Wait. See, I can't remember which part it is.
But see, that's the thing with what you've just said is what happens when movies are just action-packed with no story. Because you just don't know which part it was in. Because they're all the same, right? It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's also like the same. It reminds me of how Quentin Tarantino, he talked about he doesn't like watching TV series because when you come time to talk to someone about a specific scene, it's hard to know what episode it was in.
Yeah.
Because there's too many. And because John Wick is the way it is, like, it's so action-packed.
There's too
hardly
many
any story. Hardly any story. I mean, if you look at John Wick 1, his dog dies. So he's just going after the guys that killed his dog, and that's it. That's the whole story. And it's just action after that, like full on one man against the world. You don't need much storyline there, right?
Yeah.
It's just hideout action. So you get the similar vibe for this film, Ballerina. Like I said before, it's just a typical revenge movie. You know, you've seen all these stories a million times before. Girl has to grow up to get revenge, just like on Kill Bill. Same sort of thing, right? But in saying that, if they wanted to keep this franchise going, they needed to get a replacement for Keanu Reeves, who's probably is dead, and then probably needed the Ballerina movie and Anna to come and perform and see how she goes, eh? So
yeah, she looked like she's done a good job. She's definitely trained for it. Fuck.
Oh, one of the other scenes I liked was her first mission. How she's trying to protect that Asian girl at the nightclub from getting kidnapped.
Ah, yes, that's right.
And she's fighting those guys in their dress, in her sexy dress, and I was thinking, damn.
Just get her ass handled to herself too. But she did the job.
Yeah, I mentioned that they should have handled John Wick appearing a better way.
I agreed.
If they just didn't show him until the last bit, I thought that would be cool. Better. But you know how Chancellor and Angelica Houston, the director, how they made a deal. That remember the Chancellor said we're going to go to war if we don't call that girl off.
Yeah,
and
so
he goes, no.
She had no choice. She had to send him.
Yeah, so I'll send one of our best men. I think if they put it like that and not see John Wick at all before that, and John Wick just shows up, oh, that's the guy that she got. Like, man, what's gonna happen? What did he actually do though? What did he actually do other than be in this film? I mean, you could say that he took the shine away from her.
Yeah,
her character being the lead character.
He made all those guys drop nuts too. As soon as they knew he turned, far out there, all dropped nuts, big time. All of them.
I've been reading all these other reviews, and a lot of people like the flamethrower versus flamethrower at the end there. Oh. I don't know quite.
I wasn't too thinking with that.
I wasn't too thinking with that either.
I was like, ooh.
I thought that was Eats when she got the hose.
Yeah.
That was a bit Eats.
How's that gonna work? Like, what a bullshit.
Yeah.
No, I can't see that happening.
Do you think it's gonna be another one? Because what happened at the end? She goes off happily ever after. Oh no, there's a hit on her.
So she's on the run again, just like John.
Yeah, she's on the run again. So we'll see what happens if. Yeah. I don't think he can do much anymore with these John Wick movies now. If I think about it.
Yeah, there's one I want to see is the story that the mission that he took. Now the guy talks about the foundation that the organization was built on was by the people that John killed, that he shouldn't have survived. That's one story I want to see.
Oh, like a prequel.
Yeah, it would have been one of his early stuff. Because for him, you know how he had to get out of the organization, he had to do one last mission. And apparently that was the mission that set the rest of these organizations up. So, man, that wouldn't mind seeing that movie. But probably not Keanu Reeves. Probably a younger dude.
Some of the dialogue I remember was from John Wick. How he has a slow speech all the time when he says some words he says in all his movies. Like he talks about like decisions and consequences. Huh? Choices and consequences.
Kind of adamant way of talking.
It's interesting when I read their recap talking about how he gave her advice and she goes up to him when she was in training. Talks to him and says, and he goes, "Oh, the door's there. Just go." Yeah. But she says, "Nah, I gotta kill the guy that killed my dad." And he goes, "Well, that's the path you take. But the door's right there."
yeah, true that.
Even if he came and the deal was to protect the bad dude, right? So the mission would be to kill the bad dude before John Wick kills her. That would have been a cool ending.
Yeah, true.
Because we all know John Wick survives, right?
Yeah.
Because he appears in John Wick Part 4. But we don't know if Ballerina survives. So we don't want her to die either. Otherwise, there won't be any more sequels. So they both have to live. So if you plot the story to where John Wick has to kill her as one of the hits that they use him to kill her, then there has to be a way out, right? But the way out that they showed in the movie wasn't, for me, convincing.
Okay.
It was just going back to advice he gave her, and he gave her a chance.
Yeah.
And for me, that doesn't stack up. It's like, oh, fuck your cool brother Hitman. Why don't you do your job? Like, there should be no emotions in anything. So you probably failed in there, but I guess they needed a way out. Both of these two characters to survive, right? So yeah, that's why I thought they missed the mark on that bit. I thought that the way out should have been a professional way out, like how I explained it. Like it should have been his mission is to kill Anna or the ballerina before she kills the chancellor. So that's in his mind, that's what he should do, right? So he's trying to kill her before she kills him. But if she kills him before he does, then the job's over.
Yeah, because the other thing, it's important to know where in the timeline this is because John's in a different state of mind when this guy's killed his dog. So if it's during that time where he's in, he's trying to kill the guys that killed his dog, or still getting chased by the organization, then of course he would have turned and just help the ballerina instead. But if he was still the John Wick from the old days, yeah, he would have killed her or tried to. So that's why I was conflicted with the timeline. I was like, hey, when is this?
Well, it did happen after part 1. It's in between part 3 and 4.
Yeah, so he's still in that mindset where he's like, no, I'm doing this. I'm gonna kill them all because they killed my dog.
And that probably explains what he said to her when he said, when she asked him, "Oh, how come you haven't found the door?" He goes, "I'm still trying."
Yeah.
So he's conflicted, like you said.
Yeah, he's still trying to find a way out. Because if it was before he tried to leave, then he would have definitely followed the mission.
Another thing interesting I noticed was, when she was doing her ballet moves, and the director was telling her to get up every time she fell down. Yeah, I thought that was a good play on, to get up every time she falls. So she gets hit, she gets her ass kicked all the time, but she gets up all the time to finish the fight, and that shows heart. So the training she had as a ballet dancer when she always fell down, her toes were bleeding just to get up no matter what. So that was a good connection there.
All right, shit.
Yeah, man. So you giving it So we'll do the thing again out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you give it out of 10?
Probably a 4. Yeah, 4.5.
4.5. You know what? After we've talked about it, I'm gonna give it a 5. 5 out of 10. I thought it was average. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was
I
a
like
good
the action
movie.
in it.
And probably if I watch it again, I'll watch it for some scenes, certain scenes. Just like I watched John Wick again, just for some certain scenes, some fight scenes, Because they're gonna do one better every time. So it's interesting that they chose to do the grenade scene and some of these scenes you
This
never seen
grenade
before.
scenes cracked me up, man. I was like, holy shit.
I mean, you have to think of new ways to kill people.
Yeah.
So remember when John Wick 4 had the bird's eye view over the house?
Yeah, I loved that. It reminded me of a video game that I used to play, and it was exactly like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Just take corners and take your shots.
Mm.
Next minute, you pull out a flamethrower. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sekils, I think that's us,
Yeah.
Ballerina, done and dusted. So if F1 starts this week, there's also 28 years later, which I'm keen to go watch too.
Yeah, me too.
Before it might come on streaming, but yeah, man, I'll try and
I wouldn't mind watching that at the movies. That'll be freaky as shit.
Yeah. 30 more days before Superman.
Yo. True.
Yeah.
They're putting out a lot more trailers now, Well, holy shit. Might as well show the movie, man. I'm trying to do everything I can not to watch all the trailers.
No, that'll be good. Yeah, we'll be there watching Superman and doing a review on it. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, Us, for jumping on. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back on the channel 135. Talk more TV shows and movies. All right. Bye.
All right.